My father died when I was young, 11 and a half, and I met Rob Reiner in my freshman year at high school, and I became really close with his father, Carl. And Rob had issues because it was his father. That communication was not going well, but Carl could dump all of what he wanted to say on me, and I never got so much encouragement. I mean, first of all, I was like 16, and I would go there, and I would make him and Mel Brooks and Norman Lear and Neil Simon laugh till they almost fell off the couch, and that was, oh my God. And just what he would tell me, he was the most encouraging adult that I respected when I was a teenager.
Beautiful.
Albert Brooks's first public appearance after the death of Rob Reiner felt less like a media moment and more like a quiet crack in a man who had just lost his anchor. For decades, Brooks and Reiner were inseparable in the way only true best friends are, bonded long before fame, long before legacies, long before Hollywood turned them into icons. So when Brooks finally appeared in public after the tragedy, what stood out wasn't what he said, but how carefully he seemed to carry himself, as if one wrong word might let the grief spill out all at once. Observers immediately noticed the restraint. Brooks did not arrive with prepared lines or polished anecdotes. He spoke slowly, choosing words with visible effort, often pausing as though testing whether his voice would hold. This wasn't performative sadness or public mourning shaped for cameras. It was the grief of someone still in disbelief, someone whose mind hadn't caught up with reality.
We sat on that bench.
We did?
Rob Reiner and Albert Brooks met here at Beverly Hills High 60 years ago in a drama class.
This is the first time both of us have been back since we graduated.
Over a certain age, it's against the law.
Only for you, though.
Well, life works best when you remember. You remember, nobody bothers you, that's the way it was, I looked great. When you have to confront the actual people you were with, oh my God, who are you? You're my grandmother. No, you were in love with me. Oh my God, oh my God.
But you liked older women, so.
At moments, Brooks appeared almost stunned, the look of a man who has spent a lifetime assuming one person would always be there, only to discover that assumption is gone. What made the appearance especially moving was the history behind it. Brooks and Reiner met as teenagers, long before either knew what they would become. They grew up together, learned comedy together, failed together, succeeded together. Their friendship survived changing careers, political differences, and the brutal churn of the entertainment industry. In recent years, that bond had even come full circle when Reiner directed a documentary celebrating Brooks's life and work, a gift that now feels heartbreakingly final. Losing a best friend is painful at any age, but losing the person who remembers who you were before everything else is a different kind of loss. Brooks's demeanor reflected that depth. There was also a noticeable absence of anger or speculation in Brooks's appearance. He avoided discussing circumstances, headlines, or theories. Instead, he spoke about who Reiner was to him, the friend, the constant, the person who understood his humor without explanation. That choice said a lot. When grief is still raw, people often cling to memory rather than meaning. Brooks wasn't ready to analyze or interpret. He was still remembering, still missing, still adjusting to a silence that had replaced a voice he had heard for over 60 years. Physically, Brooks looked like someone carrying weight. His posture was slightly closed, his gestures minimal. Even his humor, normally sharp, reflexive, appeared softened. When it surfaced, it came cautiously, almost apologetically, as if he wasn't sure whether laughter was allowed yet. That hesitation revealed how deeply the loss had unsettled him.
Rob was my oldest friend. It's that simple. He's the person that I've known the longest. Met him when I was 14 years old. So I'm still in that not believing it stage. I know it happened, but I'm driving around and all of a sudden I actually, 2 days ago, I called his number.
wanted you here for the longest time. I don't get to see enough, but it's always a pleasure when you're here. Thank you for bringing him, for doing this.
What am I, a dog?
I always knew you guys were friends until I saw this documentary. I didn't know. I know you went back. I didn't know what you go way back.
Yes. It's the high school. Yes.
High school. Is that
we
how
met
you-
in high school? Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and we became instant friends. We met. It was a class. I think we were like 16, 17 at the time. 16.
It remains one of the most embarrassing moments of my life because
Albert at 16 was a prodigy. He could make my dad, Mel Brooks, people
Yeah.
of the highest level in comedy, make them laugh.
Comedy had always been the language he and Reiner shared, yet now even that felt fragile. Perhaps the most telling element of Brooks's first appearance was what it revealed about private grief becoming public. Brooks has always been a deeply thoughtful, introspective figure, someone who uses comedy to explore anxiety, fear, and vulnerability. In this moment, there was no character to hide behind. He was simply a man mourning his best friend, doing his best to honor him without turning the loss into spectacle. That quiet dignity resonated with audiences because it felt real, unedited, unresolved, unfinished. In the end, Brooks's first appearance wasn't about closure or tribute in the traditional sense. It was about presence, about showing up even when the ground beneath you feels unstable. It showed the grief of someone who didn't just lose a colleague or collaborator, but a lifelong witness to his life. And in that stillness, that careful silence, Brooks unintentionally offered one of the most honest portraits of friendship and loss Hollywood has seen. A reminder that behind every legend is someone left behind, learning how to exist in a world that suddenly feels